amendment in the works, actually, that's already drafted, that would basically prevent someone from, I guess, benefiting extra through a federal deduction. The problem is, though, you can already deduct your state income tax liability. So you pay your state income taxes, you can already claim a federal deduction for that. And a lot of people do. So we feel like if we cave into the pressure on this, people will actually have a greater incentive to just pay their taxes. Maybe that wouldn't actually happen. But anyway, this has been an ongoing issue, that it's a profit. I think also another key point is it's a non-refundable credit. So you can't get a check in the mail. And the biggest key is that it's about kids. This is about helping kids. So I don't know, I can't give you a perfect answer on that one, but we feel like it's a red herring. It doesn't work. Some studies are showing in other states that outcomes for scholarship students are worse. But actually, if you look at the greater weight of the evidence, there have been numerous studies done, and the large majority show that students using scholarships or vouchers, those have been the most studied programs, are actually doing better. And some of the more recent studies that show a negative outcome are usually based on 1 year after a student transfers from public to private school, like in Washington, D.C. They're evaluating after 1 year. But we know that it takes multiple years, oftentimes, for a student to transition. And so when you see some of the debate on these studies, it's important to look at how many years the students involved, and also are they looking at the whole picture. Most studies show outcome, and almost every study, 31 of 33 show better outcomes at public schools. Because of competition, we think. Secularization, this is a good, maybe not so much myth, but concern. Participation in the program will be voluntary. No school has to participate. And that's an incentive to help us, I guess, keep the government honest. But no school would ever be forced to participate. And then also there's language in the bill saying the government couldn't come in and further regulate to any more than it already does. And we're already highly regulated. And then last one, unconstitutional. That's not true. And the U.S. Supreme Court already upheld Arizona's tax credit scholarship program. Arizona has 3 tax credit scholarship programs, actually. And the U.S. Supreme Court upheld their original tax credit scholarship program. And they said that it's privately funded. So nobody can challenge it in court as violating the separation of church and state, because you need some kind of public appropriation to get into court. But the Supreme Court was 5-4, but it was Justice Kennedy on our side, and he wrote the opinion. He said the money's going from a private bank account to a student. That's not a violation of church and state. And then even if it was public, the Supreme Court's also upheld vouchers already. But anyway, it's privately funded, so it's constitutional. That's the substance. Lauren has advocacy points. I guess I'll let her do that, and if you have questions for me, you can ask them, but I'll let Lauren talk about advocacy.
Great, thanks. I know you guys have been sitting for a long time and you just heard a lot of information. But that's why we have these nifty one-pagers for you to take with you. If you have any question or a lot of questions about LB 295 are listed on that one-pager. As Michael said, my name is Lauren. I'm the communications and outreach specialist for the Catholic Conference. So we represent the bishops of Nebraska and effectively the whole church, Catholic Church, in the legislature, but we also work, as Bob said, with Lutheran schools. We work with Nebraska Family Alliance. They're a Christian organization that lobbies in the legislature and advocates for family values and Christian values. So I encourage you to look into their website and join their network. If this kind of thing interests you, which it should, because there are so many bills that go through the legislature that affect us, and we sometimes don't even know that they're going through. That's why we have groups like us and Nebraska Family Alliance that kind of pay attention. And I also just want to say how impressed I am with how many people there are. I couldn't even get a seat back there. I tried to fulfill my role of being, or my dream role of being a cool girl drummer. I almost took the stool back there, but I didn't want to make a big scene. But yeah, so you have those one-pagers, and as Bob said, our website is listed on there, necatholic.org. And there are stories, there's more details if you want more details, but the basic point of this is that it's a tax credit given to donors to help give kids scholarships so that they can go to a school that best fits their needs. And I'm sure you have seen it in your own kids, and maybe you have friends who can't afford to send their kids to school, or they can't get financial assistance, but what they want for their kids is a value-based education, a faith-based education, or even just more attention in school. And perhaps the place that they feel is best for them is in a private school, like a Lutheran school or a Catholic school. And why not give more scholarships and allow people who want to donate to filter that through? So this is really about the children. But as Michael mentioned, it's very controversial, needlessly controversial, especially because the other side has misinformation and just frankly a lot of lies that get their groups riled up. So I want to get our groups riled up with truth and goodness, which doesn't always get people riled up, but I know you guys will get riled up. So one of the most important things we're doing right now is filling out these postcards. So we realized that emails are really good for state senators, but something even better is a tangible reminder that, hey, somebody took the time to fill out a postcard and give it to them. So I would invite all of you to fill one out tonight. It has a space for your address and email. You don't need to do that. If you don't know who your state senator is, then do write your address and I can fill it in, but also find out who your state senator is. I'm gonna pass these to you guys, and there's a space that says, this is important to me because blank. And so it could be, my kid is receiving scholarships, or I wish that I could receive scholarships for my children, or I know families who need scholarships to attend a school of their choice. Whatever reason you would like to share, that is great. And I also have more postcards if you want to take them home and then send them in. But these that you're filling out, give them to me or to Michael, and we will hand deliver them to your state senator. And then lastly, the most important thing, other than postcards, is calling your senators. So you might just talk to an aide and say, hey, I want to tell Senator Bowles to support LB 295, and that's all that you have to say. You can talk longer, but they're just gonna do a little notch, but that's what they're doing with the opposition as well. So all you have to do is pick up the phone, dial the number, which you can find on our site or on nebraskalegislature.gov, and count as a person that cares about school choice. So I think those are the big three, the biggest things right now: filling out postcards, sending emails, and making calls to your state senators. If you have questions about how to do any of that, it's really easy to go to our website or to call us anytime. Call Bob, call Mark. They all have the resources to help you to do this. And if you are passionate about this, I also invite you to ask a friend or two to do it with you as well. As Mike said, debate is next week, so it's very important. They're gonna filibuster. There's a senator who filed 9 worthless amendments, and all that's gonna do is take up the 3 hours of debate, which is what he wants, which is so unfair. How can politics work like this? But really what we want is for our voices to be heard, and that is what all of you are here to do. So thank you for listening to us. If you have any specific questions, yeah, you can go through that. If you have any specific questions, I don't know how much time is left, Mark, but Mike is here to answer them. So thank you.